All righty, folks. I want to give you a tidbit, a highlight of one of the funniest moments at the ORaaT celebration from this weekend. And Stephen Dow has no idea where I'm going with this. That's why he's chuckling.
I
He's
do.
like, "Oh my
I
God,
already
what are you
do.
going to do?" Oh,
I
you
already
do
do.
know.
I already do.
All right, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So,
Yeah.
and I think it was just after lunch, or maybe just after lunch, day one.
Uh-huh.
We've got all the mortgage guys, right? We got Matt, the mortgage guy. We've got Dustin, Jonathan from Convoy. We've got, of course, Stephen Dow. That was
Right.
actually how they were on stage, left to right. And we get into the presentation. They say some words, blah blah blah. People get up, start asking questions, which is exactly what we want to happen. I think it was the
Right.
third or fourth gentleman
Right.
who
Corey.
stood.
Shout out to Corey.
Shout out to Corey. Yeah, Corey gets up and basically says,
This is
give me the line, give me the line." Steve's like, "What line?
Give me
What
the
line?"
disclaimer. Yeah. The
Yeah,
disclaimer.
where's
I
the
was like, what are you
disclaimers?
talking about? And
Yeah.
then I was like, oh, by the way, although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel, that of my own. So let's get it going. Yeah.
I remember thinking like, disclaimer. What is he doing?
Disclaimer, what
Oh,
do you mean?
I know what he's talking
Oh,
about.
yes. Oh my God, that was so classic. But yeah, it was funny. And I guess watchers of the show, subscribers of the show. I mean, that's the usual. That kind of tells you
How
how
often they
consistent they
watch, right?
are and loyal. Yeah, and they remember all that stuff. So man, not to I guess beat a dead horse. It was a really great event, Mike. I was really thoroughly impressed with the venue,
Yeah.
the layout, sound, everything was really great. But the content, the speakers, but
The
overall, just the
audience. The
overall,
audience.
yeah,
Yeah.
the audience, the energy, the
Yeah.
participation, really like commitment, because people are coming far and wide. Alaska, Hawaii, I mean,
Mhm.
Florida, you got like
Puerto
everybody from, I
Rico.
mean,
Puerto
I'm
Rico
right, Puerto
coming.
Rico, I'm from Texas.
Yeah.
So no, and people were really there to really learn, and I think a lot of people got a lot from it. I think a couple of sessions people were telling me about the night before at Denny's, they're there till like 3 or 4 in
Yeah.
the morning or something.
Yeah. Shout out to Dion, Millennial Mike. They do these I forget what he call them, basically Denny runs where they're there at 11 o'clock and they'll just go until everybody leaves. I mean, that's commitment right there.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And then the lumberjack landlord flew in late, I
Yeah.
think around midnight, and went straight to Denny's and was there till like 2 or 3 or whatever in the morning. I was like, man, these guys are, yeah. So, but no,
Hardcore.
it was great. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really, really fun.
Yeah, I look forward to doing it again. The other thing that
At
was
100,000, at 100,000, is that what it is? We're doing it in
no,
Hawaii.
we're just doing it. Oh, that's right. You missed the closing because you had to go home and you had to go home. I
Yeah.
committed to do an event next year, President's Day weekend. Committed on the books.
Oh, wait. Okay. Well, that should
Yeah,
be fun.
yeah.
Any like particular milestone, or is just
No,
automatic on the
we're
books?
just going to do ORaaT Celebration 2.0.
Okay.
So I'm already working on how to exceed expectations for next year. It is already started.
Okay, well then I get if you haven't already said it, then I'm gonna make the push. 100K,
Oh, that'd be
subs.
nice. That'd be
Yeah,
nice.
100K subs, and plus here we come.
There you go. There you go. Well, it's funny. One of the things that I get to watch as kind of the host and the master of ceremonies is
Hmm.
I get to watch, right, my community and the weekly millionaires.
Right.
And one of the things that I thought was I actually felt good about was when you, Matt the mortgage guy, and Convoy, right, Dustin and Jonathan were on stage,
Right.
it really looked like you guys had your lane.
Hmm.
Right. Yes, you can compete, you can have some overlap, but when you really sit back and go, what do you do for a living?
Right.
Right? What is 80, 90% of your business? It's very different. And I know
Right.
that obviously is the guy who selected
Hmm.
you to be on the channel and then selected the event, but it was really obvious from the audience and then the guys
Right.
on stage. I remember one time they're like, Uncle Steve, Uncle Steve. I knew that one.
Pretty much, and I think that's where we all kind of work well together. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, you know what I mean, and I've gotten deals,
Which I appreciated. Which I appreciated. That you guys
right.
could have, throwing darts at each other, or whatever.
No, we play well in
Yeah,
the sandbox. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I
That
share
was
my
cool.
trucks and they share their toys, and so I
Yeah.
think everybody realized that there's enough business to go around, and everybody just kind of stays in their lane. You don't have to you don't have to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. So everybody kind of figured out their lane, and they kind of stay in that. So I've thrown deals over the fence
Yeah.
to Matt or Ferd and even Dustin. I just had somebody reach out to me for a DSCR HELOC. And that's something that I found that they could do, while on stage.
Yep.
So I was like, hey, contact these
There
guys
you
real
go.
quick. So no, it worked out. And I think that's just another testament to yourself to kind of bring together a full array of like different financing options
Yeah.
to empower your subscribers. And so no, it was good. Yeah. And like you said, we could, because I've been to a lot of mortgage
Oh,
conferences, and when you have like a panel of like different,
yeah.
people from different investors or lenders, it sometimes just almost turns into like an infomercial,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It could get really bad. Yeah.
yeah, no, this was fun, man. Everybody on stage was great.
And you've been you're a sales guy like I was for a long time.
Right.
One
Right.
of the things you obviously get when you win awards, President's Day clubs, all of that.
Uh-huh.
What did you think about your surprise award?
Oh, Mike, again, legendary, bro. I was like thoroughly like impressed because as I was up watching some of the, presenters and speakers, and then at the end you would, do that belting, and I was like, oh man, I hope I get one of those. That's what I was thinking in my head, right? And I was looking, I was like, oh, that's so sick. That was so nice. And then, yeah, and so I saw the little box on the side. So, I can pretty much, I'm
Yeah,
Asian.
2 and 2.
I can, right, 2 and 2. Yeah. So I was like, man, I can't wait. And so then, yeah, I got home. I showed my mom, and she was like, oh man, that was like really, kind of legit.
Yeah.
So
What people may not know is it has your picture and your name on it.
yes, no, it was like, I was like, oh my God, this is, so it was well thought out. Thank you so much for being,
Yeah.
so considerate, because I think that's a nice memento for everybody that, committed to coming out there, but also just being part of the channel. So thank you, man, for the recognition. That was
No,
it's just been fun, man.
you show up every week for me. You show up every week for the channel. I have heard nothing but awesome things from people who have interacted with you, even if they didn't get it alone done. They were very
Right.
positive, and you said, "Hey, I can't do it." Right? You've been very clear. So,
Right.
it's really the least I could do. And the other big thing for me, when you try to get creative and think out, guys, if you like everybody else, you give a plaque or a trophy. I mean, how boring
Sure.
would that be, right?
Yeah.
The other
No,
thing
it
you
was
have to be,
it was perfect. It was perfect
yeah,
because I was riding on the plane, and I kind of had it over my shoulder a little bit, and I was trying to pretend like, they're
the
like,
big dog in
was
it.
it UFC? Yeah, they're like, was it UFC in Anaheim? I'm like, yeah, this is just a smaller
Smaller circuit.
conference, whatever. Yeah. And then they start staring closer, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you should see the other guy. You know what I mean?
You see the other guy. Yeah. But
it was fun.
The big thing for me was, obviously I wanted the pictures to blow up Instagram, right? Or social media, which because that I knew that would happen. But here's the real thing is I wanted people to take it home. Sometimes you do these awards and they're a little awkward and they frankly don't fit in the suitcases or the backpacks.
Right.
Beauty of the belt is it folds into a relatively compact thing. So
I didn't want to bend anything. No, I even kept the box. I got the box and I threw the belt over the shoulder, and I was, you know what I mean? Because you're allowed like 2 things, with Southwest. So I was like, I didn't even I didn't want to check it in. I want to keep it. I want to bend it. I don't want to have anything like, just in case it was on me the whole time. Man, that's awesome. Why, I was like gloating almost like, oh man, it actually made me feel better because I wasn't feeling too good. I was fighting some sort of bug. I didn't sleep well. But once I got that, I was like recharged. But then I was like, oh, it's starting to kind of kick in because then, So, but thank you again, Mike. That was really good.
It's funny.
Really nice.
So Coach Carson, he tried to get it through his, he tried to go through security. TSA pulled him out of the line.
Shut up.
They're like, what the hell is this 8 pound of metal? They pulled him out of the line. And then,
again, I had it and I put up, so they could see. So but it was funny, man. That's funny.
And then checked it. And I don't know if you guys know this, but every once in a while they see something, they open your bag. So they put a sticker inside that says, "We opened your bag. We didn't know what this item was." So next time I give you a gift, guys, just walk it through security.
Yeah, I mean, loud and proud. I was like I said, I was like messing around, like like I was like just got done with some UFC fight. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's funny.
And so
that's funny. So you also got to see some clients, right? You saw some clients in person. At the event?
I mean, either people I've actually done loans for, or just talked about some loans, and
Yeah.
sometimes it didn't work out. A lot of people had initially inquired about, doing like the combination of the seller
Yeah.
financing, and they got
50,
the
40,
terms,
10.
and that
Yeah.
right, and so that opened up the lines of communication for kind of like that scenario to be discussed, and then it
Yeah.
ultimately turned into 100% seller financing.
Good for
Once
them.
they kind of like, well, right, and so then it evolved into that, but to some degree, a few people stated that they would have never even thought about
No.
mentioning that without the channel. And then kind of like, oh, hey, a bulb went off. And then once they asked them, hey, well, combination, but then the terms didn't quite make sense due to the, rate environment. So then they were like, hey, well, maybe you could do 100% of that. And then, yeah, it just all worked out. And then seller got what they wanted. They were, super happy. So
Yeah.
it was just, yeah. But yeah, putting a face to the voice, doing a few loans, and then like not knowing who you're really working with, but then getting to meet them in person,
Yeah.
and them telling me. And then a few people brought their wives, who I did,
Oh,
we were talking
yeah.
with, and then they brought their kids as well. So I don't know if you noticed a couple,
Yeah.
they brought some of their older,
Yeah.
children along
I saw
to be
that.
kind
Yeah.
of like part of, yeah. So it's nice, man. You could see people making some real big moves, not only for themselves but also for their families, for generational wealth, and really empowering them with the right mindset
Yeah. Yeah.
and information, and then starting them young, networking, like knowing, what you need to build up around your network to, make yourself successful in this field. So, dude, I can't say enough good things about the overall event and just the people, because you could feel it. Like everybody's super helpful. Everybody's just really, wanting to learn.
Yeah, one thing
And
that really was I was hopeful for, but actually came through was what I call the millionaires, right? Sometimes you get in rooms like that, and all they want to do is sit in a green room, right? Get me away from everybody. I don't want to be around anybody. I'm too big. Don't bother me. Everybody
right,
was out in the audience. No, I had like I don't even know if you know this, but I had a room set aside
yeah,
called the green room.
right,
Like if you wanted to go get away, you could have. A couple
mm-hmm,
people did it before their presentation just to make sure they were okay.
right.
But it was one room that almost had no activity. I was so happy about that.
Yeah, no, it was again, I don't think there was one person that was like, off on the side, not really wanting to talk
No,
to
nobody
anybody.
big timing it, nobody entouraging
No,
it.
no, no. From every level, they were so, gracious with their time and information. And Jason and Jennifer, the first couple that went up there,
Yeah.
I have to, after hearing their backstory, I was like, man, you're giving me some faith. And I walked to Jennifer, and I was like, this doesn't have anything to do with a loan question, but I was like, what dating app would you suggest that maybe I could meet some other like-minded real estate or
Yeah.
financing professional? And she was like, you know what? I've been thinking about starting a dating app specifically for our people in our industry or something like that. And I was like, well, that
Oh,
was just kind of a joke question. But long story short, everybody was just really great about their time and their backstory. It was just a lot of like good information. Even made me like, you know what, I got to do better. I
there
mean, a
you
lot of
go.
these people they're talking the truth, and so it's just no
Yeah.
more excuses. But
Yeah.
not what I got from the whole event was just all positive.
There you go. There you go. Well, I look forward to you coming back every week. You are one of my friends, so I know you'll be here for us. But if somebody wanted to reach out to you, see what's what, how would they do that?
Email is usually the best because a lot of times I'm traveling. Like after your event, I was just in another mortgage convention or
Oh
conference
wow.
yesterday.
Oh my
What was the day
gosh.
before? Yeah, and then I. It's a long story, but email is best. SDAO at velocity, the word mortgage spelled out.com. The subject line, please put the acronym ORaaT to get past the firewall. In the body of the email, maybe a brief description what you're looking for. Property address would be super helpful, at least city and state to make sure that I can lend there. And then your mid FICO score would really help as well. And then best phone number to reach you at. And typically 24, 40 hours, I'll be in touch.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful week.
Likewise, you too, man.